Hi, everyone. I'm Rhonda with Sawgrass, and we are glad to welcome you here today to our workshop. We're going to have one next week with me that's going to be a little more of a deep dive. But this week, we just wanted to kick off some projects that we really think it's timely to go ahead and start working on them. And that's going to be some dorm decor. So I'm going to get it over to Kesley, and she will get you some really great projects that she has today. All right, Kesley, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. And I know we're just in the middle of summer, but like Rhonda said, it is time to start thinking about sending those young people off to college and getting them started with their rings. So one of the fun things I always found was trying to nudge my kids to let me help them do some decor in their dorm room and things like that. So every now and then I'd get an okay, that would be great kind of thing. But this is really an opportunity for you to also learn about how to customize items. So whether it's for your child going off to college, or if you're doing other people's children's, you have a little side hustle. These are some fun ideas that you can kind of incorporate into your product line and launch. It's kind of timely time. So I think our first one we'll start off with is a door sign. So one of the things, if you guys remember, if you went to college or they still do it, is having a way to leave a message. I know texting is really easy, but sometimes just to go by somebody's door and say, hey, have a great day, just wanted to say hi. And they'll have their little dry erase board hanging on their door. So there's lots of different ways that you can create a dry erase board. There are there are dry erase boards that are ready for sublimation. You can use just a piece of wood and create a dry erase board. What I wanted to do today was walk you through a little bit of a different process. So I went to my Dollar Tree and grabbed some canvas templates, some canvases. Now these come in packs and they're like $1.25 or $2.50, whatever, for a pack of about five canvas frames. And there's different sizes. I selected the 8x10 because I figured you could add onto it and maybe hang three down if you wanted to. But I just thought one would be sufficient to get started. Now, what you're going to need is your canvas frame as well as a pack of laminate sheets. Now, these are the type of the thermal laminate sheets. So they'll usually go into a laminator where you put your paper in and you feed it through and it comes out as a laminate sheet. What we're going to do is we're going to take our laminate sheet and open it up and trim it down to an 8x10 size, which is the size that will fit on our canvas. So first, I need to open up my canvas here, and there was a little hole in the back on some of these, made it super easy to open these up. So we're just going to go ahead and give this a little open. Now, I think you could paint this with acrylic paint if you wanted to. We are going to sublimate on top of it, so it won't show through. But if you wanted to make it a color for their school or a group or an organization, like if they're in a sorority or something like that, if you wanted to paint it that color, you could. And then where you have the white of your design, the clear opaque part of your design, that could come through. So I'm just going to grab my lint roller here and I'm going to run that over my canvas. Now, I did just take that out of the package, so I'm hoping there's really not any lint on there or anything, but you just never know. Now, also along with that, we're going to set our heat press for the first press to 385 degrees. So I'm going to drop my heat down to 385 degrees and cut my laminate sheet down to an 8x10 size. Usually we start off with our design, but today I wanted to go ahead and do the laminate sheet on the canvas and give it just a minute to dry, kind of set it in. So I'm going to do that first. Now you don't have to trim your laminate sheet exactly to the right size. If you didn't want to, if you wanted to let some of it hang over, and then you could manually trim it down, that is always an option as well. I just found it was actually a little bit easier to to fight with my paper trimmer today. I thought it was a little bit easier to go ahead and trim your laminate sheet down to the size that you needed. So we're going to go 10 inches long and then 8 inches wide. So if you were a little bit over, you would just take a razor blade or a pair of scissors and just trim down the side of your canvas so that that laminate sheet covers the whole front of your canvas. You could wrap it around a little bit on the edges and then use an iron and put that laminate sheet on there. I just found for this project, knowing it was only going to be used for 1 year and then probably not make it home for the next year, that I just was going to cover the front of my canvas. So I have my sheet down to an 8x10 size, and that will fit on the front of my canvas piece here. Now notice that your laminate sheet has a really shiny side and then a dull side. The dull side is the side that has that adhesive on it. So you want to have the dull side facing your canvas with the shiny side up. And again, I'm dropping the temperature to my press down to 385 for about 10 seconds. It doesn't even, that's probably even a little high. You could just, it's just going to be a kiss. We're just going to get it set in place. So go ahead and set that in your tray. And I have my blowout paper on the bottom, and I'm just going to slide a piece of blowout paper on the top here. And I'm just going to watch it for 10 seconds about, just enough to kind of get that seal made and get that set. Okay, so while that's cooling, now you can go ahead and press while it's still hot. So if you were doing this in front of somebody and you're like, ooh, I got to get this done, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we are going to take a minute and go ahead and design our look. So let me open up Design Mate and share my screen with everybody. All right, I'm gonna accept those cookies. Now, my screen canvas is 8x10, so it will fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I'm gonna go ahead and make my own canvas size here, an 8x10. And then we'll go ahead and start designing. Now, keep in mind that with something like this, you can bring in elements that you've saved on your elements that you've saved that are on your what am I trying to say, that are on your computer. So you can upload your own files, which is what I did for my sample one. I went ahead and didn't upload on a background file, but if you wanted to, you could just come in and grab a design. There was one design that was in the ready to go designs that I thought would be really fun, especially kind of have a girl look going on here. But in the summer designs where you have, let's see, there was an outdoor one with the big buffalo on it. This guy. And so you could just put this on your canvas. Now, if you wanted to, we could remove the background and it will just be the white design. And okay, let's go back. And the great things about the pre-done designs is usually you can change it up a bit. Am I frozen, or is this one just not letting me change? Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go down here to where it says Ferguson County and try and click on that. And you could change this up to other names. So maybe it's for Ryan and Adam's room. Like that. So you can put their names there and have their names on the board. If you didn't want all this design to be so large, we can reduce the size of that because it's a little bit big. So we're just going to shrink this down so it'll fit kind of in the middle of their board. Now, again, I picked this one. Maybe they're going to Colorado State or something like that. You could change made to Rome, add something else there if you wanted to, like welcome Ryan and Adam, or like University of Colorado, whatever you want to change it up to be. And then we're just going to go ahead and print this page. So I'm going to go ahead and print that. And a lot of times now, if you haven't sent your kids, if this is your first time, you'll know that you'll be learning that your kids will be arranging their roommates through Facebook groups. So they'll have Facebook groups and they'll kind of date their roommate and find a good match, and then they'll have their roommate. So while we're just waiting for that to come over to PrintMate, I'm gonna grab this, and you'll see it's got the now it has a glossy shine. So before I started, it was just a plain canvas. Adding that laminate sheet on top of that will allow it becomes a polyester. So the laminate sheet is a polyester material, and that's why I can now sublimate on top of that. You can sublimate on canvas. We've done it before for like a paint by numbers project, but in that instance, the colors didn't need to be bright and vibrant. The colors just needed to be kind of dull and subtle. So it was great on the canvas. But like on these canvas, on the canvas directly, it doesn't show up as bright and colorful because it's not I don't know if it's the polyester in the laminate that helps it show up really nice and bright, but that's what we're going to use today. So my design is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and we'll print that out. I'll just share screen again here. Oops. Here we go. All right, so we're going to share PrintMate so you guys can see. Now, I was sort of just trying to decide on what print settings to choose for this because it's not really a hardboard, it's more of a laminate cardboard. But since it has the hard, like a kind of a sheen to the top of it, I did it the same as the hardboard coaster. So that was the settings that I chose, and that will automatically adjust my colors to, pardon me, I'll choose the vibrant colors for this, and then we are ready to print this out. You done there? Okay. So let's stop that. All right, so as you can see, I opened up this other one just to kind of show you the difference between this is the one that has that laminate sheet on it, and this is the one that does not. Now, also, when we're done with it, you can add your own design, like you can add ribbons to the back. I think you could just staple on the ribbons and have it hanging up and ready to go. But whatever you want to do is great. You can use those, what are those little, oh, I can't think of the name of them. They're the designs that you can use. They have a little sticky back on it, and they hang everywhere, and they hold together with Velcro. I know somebody knows what I'm thinking of.
I'm struggling, Kesley. I'm not sure what you're.
It's the 3M, I think, and they're like two.
Oh, the command strips.
Yeah, thank you.
I ordered some this morning.
They're great for the college dorm. All right, so I'm just going to fold that in half and mark my middle points so I know where to lay this down on my canvas. Now, we grab my ruler. So I'll just line my ruler up with my canvas and get to my middle point. So it is 10 inches. So I know my halfway is at the 5-inch mark here. So taking my design, I'm just going to plop that right down and make sure that it lines up at the 5-inch mark. And pardon me. This is about 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. So as long as I kind of have the same amount hanging over the edge, we'll be good to go. Okay, so let's just, it should have 1 inch on each side. No, 1/2 inch on each side. There we go. 1/2 inch on each side, and then about 1/4 inch on each top and bottom. So if you're ever in doubt, I knew a framer once who told me that if you are framing things, they usually do the extra width at the bottom of the frame. So if you're ever wondering if your design should be higher on your page or lower, always go for the higher. So now that we have that, we're going to, I forgot to put my temperature back up to 400 degrees. And we'll put it at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Now, let me just double check my notes on that. I think 400 degrees for 60 seconds for the, I was writing down so I don't forget. Here we go. It's 400 degrees for 90 seconds. Sorry about that. If you don't do it long enough, your colors won't come out super vibrant. So you do want to make sure that you have your timing right. So we're just going to pop that up and do it for 90 seconds. Now, the funny thing about going so hot, let's do 75 seconds, is that since it is cardboard, it can warp. So I'm going to have my board and my weight ready to pop that on top of. So we're going to sandwich this in. I have my sublimation sandwich with my blowout paper underneath. And I have my blowout paper on the top. 300, oh, it's not quite at 400 degrees. I thought it was. I thought it was there. It was not. So let me get my weight. I just keep my 10-pound weight handy. So when it comes out of the press, I will put it right here, and then I'll put the board on top of it and the weight on top of that. And that will just kind of help flatten it out. I was really impressed with how flat it stayed after doing the weight. So this one has been pressed, this one has not, and you can see it stays pretty flat. So adding that little weight there is a good little trick to have. Okay, so I'm at 400 degrees for 75 seconds. I'll put that in and we'll go ahead and get that started. All right, now while that's baking, I'll talk about my next project I want to show you guys. And this is not necessarily decor, but it could be. So we did a class this summer about decorating a tin and adding a photo to a tin. So if you wanted to create your own box, you could certainly do that. This is just like a 5x7 insert with the tin, and maybe Rhonda can put the link if you've never seen how to do the tin sublimation. We've got that covered for you. But I was thinking, like, even this was for like a little wedding idea, but you could do the same thing for a dorm and put like "When You Miss Me," open up this tin and select an envelope. So my little envelopes here, I picked up at Walmart, and they're 5x7 paper bags. So they just open up on the back, and you can tuck in a note. You can tuck in a little cash if you wanted to, anything that you wanted to do. You can tuck that in there. But today, oops, here we go. Okay, our thing is coming out. I'm gonna bring it over. And we're just gonna wall the, I'm gonna leave everything sandwiched together. We'll put that right down on there. The board, and then I put the weight. I use the board to sort of distribute the weight across the entire part of my design. I'm gonna try and slide that out of the way. There we go. And we'll let that cool off there for a few minutes. Back to our little envelopes. So one of the things we're kind of experimenting with sublimating on different materials using the laminate. Also, if you wanted to sublimate on paper, it does not take your sublimation. And the reason why it doesn't take your sublimation is it's paper, it's a pulp, it's a wood. So it doesn't have like that polyester in it. However, paper with a glitter coating has that polyester finish on it, so you can use that type of paper to make your design. So I've got 3 little envelopes here, and it says open when you had a long day, open when you need a treat, open when you feel like giving up. And I went ahead and printed those out. Let me grab my paper now. I am using my glitter paper happens to be from Cricut, but you can use your glitter paper really from any source. So I know Recollections has some at Michael's. And this has like a little bit of like a sparkly pink to it. You can get like a really vibrant white crystal to work with, whatever works for you. And then we're gonna take our designs. Now, and these are just, you can add like a little element from Design Mate and change out your element based on what you want to do. I do have a list at the end of the class. I'll try and remember to share the link with everybody. I came up with a list of about 20 different open, I just cut that off. Open wens. So you can do there's so many different things, like open when you're sad, open when you miss me, open when it's a sunny day, open when it's a cloudy day, open when you have to eat lunch by yourself, open when you finish a book, open when you take a test. So many different ways that you can use the little open lens. Okay, so we're going to put that. Now I have my cardstock here, and we'll just turn our design onto that card, the glitter cardstock, and you can use your tape. Just have to give it a little tape down like that. So we'll put those on there. And I'm going to trim that last piece off so I can reprint those or print a different saying in here. Now, I know, Rhonda, we talked about colors and doing color story. Again, I think it would be really fun if you wanted to make your color story match with the university colors. So if you wanted it to, or the dorm decor, you could do it either way. You could match it with your university. So mine would be purple and gold, or you could match it with the decor or your kids' favorite colors, whatever you'd like to do. But these are really popular right now. The kits that have these already done are really popular. And I think adding the tin with an image on it would be really fun. Okay, so 400 degrees. We'll keep it at 400. And I'm going to drop this down to 45 seconds. It'll go really quick. And let's pop that right in there. While that's cooking, let's go back and move our weight. Don't need this again. And we'll take a peek at how our design came out. That one, there we go. Welcome, made to Rome. So now they can hang this on their door, and you can add a little dry erase pen to it. So this is just a generic dry erase pen. And so when somebody comes by the door, they can leave a note and say, hey, call your mom. Now, back in the day, there was that hall phone, and somebody literally had to go and walk down and write this on somebody's door. But this is a fun way to add a little touch on their door. You can also use this inside the room to create boards to hang up. Again, they're super lightweight with these canvas boards. The gloss on the laminate on it really gives it just such a nice, I think gives it a nice professional look. So I could see putting this in a frame if you wanted to, taking pictures with their friends, adding that to their wall. There are just so many different ways you can have fun with these frames, with the canvas frames. Now our paper is done, so let me pull that out, our paper sandwich. Here we are. We'll just peel off our tops here. Open when you feel like giving up, and open when you have a long day. Now, again, this is just the glitter cardstock. So if you're looking for a really fun way to add a touch to something, this is a cute way to do it. And think about using these for the glitter cardstock as greeting cards, or if you just need a little touch to add something cute, you can do that with the glitter cardstock. So another fun way to use your sublimation on the glitter cardstock like this. All right. So, and then I just matted it. I took a piece of brown paper for those, but for these, I might just take this pink piece and I can just mat these right onto the paper like this to just add a little bit more of pizzazz. I'm all about pizzazz today. I'm getting to go. You can just add, pull out your old scrapbook supplies. And we just stick these on. And again, this is something you can either leave with them in the whole set of the tin, or you can mail these out as, you know, maybe once a month. You just restock their tin and you want to put something else in there. You could put a little gas money in there if they're coming home for a long weekend, open before coming home for a long weekend. So many fun things. But, and then I just had my pack of paper bags here. And I added that to the paper bag. So I had something to put in. You could also do it on an envelope, a closed envelope. I just thought the paper bags were really fun. And I'd probably take like a stamp pad and brush around the edge to kind of coordinate. And then if you had your tin, you can just pop these right into your open one.
What
Isn't
a
that
great
cute?
idea.
I was like, I was so bummed I didn't have a tin on hand to remake it. Now I'm gonna have to get more tins for sure. But yeah, very fun idea. Makes them feel like they're home. And even if you wait like a month and send this to them after they've been at school for a while, I think that's a good way to just let them know, hey, I'm thinking about you. You have all these opportunities to open these fun things whenever you need them. So very fun. But these really do, I have to tell you, I really think that kits like this would do really well at a market, because this is something the average person isn't going to create and craft. And I love the sublimation on it. It just makes it so special. And you can even customize it. So I mean, a customer can, you can say, fill this out with 10 or 12 different things. They can fill that out right on there for you, and then you can make it. So very fun. All right, now the last two things we have are two of my favorites. I don't know why, I just think they're so fun. So I'm thinking we should start with the laundry bag. Now I did go ahead, I did all my printing today. Usually we make and we print ahead of time, but today I did do all my printing. So I have a laundry bag. Now I have to tell you guys again, at Walmart, they had two packs of pillowcases, right? So you're thinking you're just going to use this as a pillowcase, put it on their bed, and you're good to go. Well, take the second one, create a little hem so you can attach a drawstring into it, and now you have your own laundry basket. So we're going to make a laundry basket with this one. Now, what I loved about the laundry basket, like the whole idea of it is your kids go to college and you know when they're home, because you'll have that pile of laundry in the laundry room just waiting for you to do. And I never minded that. I was always like, oh, I'm just glad you're here. Of course I'll do your laundry for you. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-press my laundry, my pillowcase, which is now my laundry bag. So we're just gonna pre-press this. Now, if you don't want to use a pillowcase, or maybe you've already got a laundry bag and you're wondering, hey, I have this cotton canvas laundry bag, but I really like this idea. Well, how can I incorporate that into what I already have? You can just grab some polyester fabric and press this onto that fabric and then just stitch it onto the bag if you wanted to. Or if you can find, if you have like a canvas bag, a polyester canvas bag that you can add this to, you can do that as well. Okay. So what I did is my pre-press, I'm just folding it in half so that I have a center line to follow. So this will be the top where I have the drawstring in there and I've got my center line. So I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna lay this out on my work surface here so I can kind of get an idea where to put my design. And this is, this one I did do in the colors for school. And it says property of Daisy, wash day instructions. So again, we'll just find the middle of this design. I always hold it up to the light a little bit and find the middle of my design. And then we're just gonna push that in half. Same with our wash chart. Now I did find my wash chart on Canva. So it has all the different symbols of washing, and there are so many. So you might want to narrow it down to ones that you might know that are on your kids' clothes. But there's all the different symbols that go with the wash. So hopefully this will prevent some of those calls of, what do I do? My shirt's gonna, is it gonna fold over? What's gonna happen here? How do I wash this shirt? This hopefully will help prevent some of that. Now we're going to take our blowout paper, which is just our butcher paper, and I put my scissors somewhere under here. There. And I'm going to cut a piece of blowout paper to go inside the pillowcase. So I just have a piece of blowout paper like this that will go inside the laundry bag. You go like this. So we'll put this inside the laundry bag first. And then we'll add the elements on top of that. So I figure it'll get kind of folded down at the bottom of the design. So I want to do this more towards the top of the bag, the tote. So I've got my blowout paper in there, and I'm just going to take my property of and line those fold lines up onto the background piece. Now I will do a little rough cut here and see if I can get these together to go on my press. Let's go this. Okay, so I've got that kind of trimmed out a little bit. These are really big pieces of paper, and with the Sawgrass 500, don't forget you can, I cut off my half marks. You can always go for the legal size paper and put that on your design as well. So I'm just going to put that and line up my fold lines here. So I've got those two lines matching. And we're just going to put a little bit of tape here to hold it. This will go 400 degrees for a minute. And I'll put, this is going to go underneath. So I've got, you'll notice I have a little splash here. I'm going to tuck that underneath. I don't want to get in the way of that guy there. So we're just going to trim this up. And I'll be really aware of how I put this in there. So I hope I don't cut off that other one. Also, a great way to do laundry bags is to just do their initials with their names, or the wash, fold, and repeat kind of idea in there. All right, let's just pull that up just a hair. Okay, and I've got my lines. Oops, I have my lines lined up here, so I know I'll be within my line. And I'm just worried it might be too. We're gonna try it. I'll pull it over to the press, and we'll see if it's too big to fit the press. Let's hope it's not. All right, I got my paper in there the whole way. slide that up just a little bit. Okay, so we're ready to go. So we're gonna press this for 60 seconds at 400 degrees. It is 100% polyester, but just keep in mind that different polyesters might press differently. And by that, I mean, some polyesters may be thicker polyesters, so you may want to press them longer than these. Like if you were to use blackout curtain, polyester blackout curtains, those are thicker than your than like this pillowcase fabric is. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I've got that on there. We're gonna slide this right over. And I'm hoping it's gonna be, it will fit. I think we are gonna fit. Awesome. Come down just a little bit. There we go. How about that? I like when that happens. Yeah, we're good. All right, and then I'll just put another blowout sheet on it because you don't want that print to bleed through and come through. So we'll just put that in there, give it 60 seconds. Now, the way that I made my pillowcase into a laundry bag is I just removed the edge here at the opening. I opened up the seam. It was really easy. I opened up the seam and turned it down, and then I did a straight stitch. If you don't sew, you can always use Wonder Under and just press it down. You don't have to have a sewing machine or anything like that. You can actually just press it down. You can also just press a ribbon at the top so that they can just tie it up with a ribbon at the top and make it match their school color. So that's another fun way to do your pillowcase into a laundry bag. And then we will do a pillowcase design. So another one I'm going to show you. Actually, this one I think I can just do like this so we can kind of get this one set out. Oh, I only have 3 seconds. We'll wait. Looks like it worked. All right. How cute is that? All that color came off. Now I have to say, I do a lot of vinyl designs as well, just from playing around with it. And I cannot imagine having to weed all of these little designs or getting all of these designs on there. This is a really great finished design here. And I love the colors and how it all came out. So now
This
if
is
my
such a
daughter's
great idea because I've seen like I've even done the glass cutting boards with like the measurements and the
Mhm.
cups and all of that. But the idea of doing this with the laundry bags so they have kind of instructions and explanations, that's phenomenal.
Thank you. You can even add your home phone number or your cell phone number on the bottom and be like, if you're not sure, call mom. But thank you. I really thought this was a great item to have, and especially if you're sending your kids off for the first time and they're responsible for their laundry. There you go. Now they have the instructions. Okay, so the other pillowcase I wanted to do was, this is actually a pillowcase that will go on their bed. And I really struggled with what type of message or design to put on the bed because, by the time they get to school and they're going to put their head down, this might be something other people will see. So I made the mistake of embarrassing my child at camp one time. So I thought, what better thing to add to a pillow than their little favorite pet? So I thought we could start with the pet on the design, and then I of course had to add to it a little bit. So again, I'm going to put that my blowout piece in the middle. And don't forget, when you're printing out your picture designs, you want to make sure that you change the color setting from vibrant to the photo so that you get like the best quality print for a photo. And you want to use your high resolution photos so that they will turn out really nicely. So on this one, you have to take into account a little bit that when that pillow goes in there, this will fill up a little bit. So we're going to just put our little poppers. He'll go on here like this, right about 3 inches or so, maybe a hand up and a hand over. I'll put him right there. But, and again, I'm testing fate. I wanted to have a little design that would go on here. I'm gonna pull it over to my page here. All right, so before I put this on there, I want to make sure this will fit onto my heat press. So what I did on this one is I printed it out through Printmate. Now in Printmate, you can add the lines for cutting in silhouette. So if I were doing a more intricate cut than just a circle, I could actually use my silhouette cutter and cut this out. But I'm just doing, I just did a circle, so I hand cut it out. And I could center it a little bit, but I have some cute little sayings to put on the end of the pillowcase. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and let these overlap. And actually it'll be reverse. So this picture, I should have done it differently. Let me go like this. Actually, maybe, what do you guys think? Should I put the happy, no, I think I like the happy thoughts over there. Okay, I'm gonna just go back onto my heat press and make sure I have the right placement on it. So that it'll fit on my heat press, and that's how it's gonna go. Okay, that still looks cute. So once I've got that figured out, and sometimes, give yourself an extra minute to figure these things out. We'll just put a little tape, the heat resistant tape on the back. This is really my solution when I think to myself, oh, I wish I could print bigger. I just figure out a way to piece it kind of together onto my design. So why did I choose the Happy Thoughts design? My kids would have been mortified if I was like, put something on there to tell them like, have a great day, or you're the best, or you're a rock star, especially in college. Like they're not in camp anymore. So I kind of wanted to give something that would give them a little taste of home, and that's having the puppy dog on there. So that, they think about their little dog when they're home, and then just a little happy thoughts at the end of the day about school, about home, anything like that. Because believe it or not, I think we give our kids a lot of credit for how resilient they are. But they always need a little soft place to land. Okay, so once I have that all set up, again, 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So I'll put my blowout paper on the bottom. Make sure it's still good. And then I'm going to slide my pillow over. And we're going to put that on there so that it fits the whole design. Now you can use, if you have an easy press, you can certainly use that. Just again, you want to get to 400 degrees. Let's slide down to, I'm a little bit worried about the top here, but shouldn't be worried about the top. They should be good. Okay. I guess I could always angle it if I wanted to get a little bit more coverage, but I'm gonna hope for hope here that I've got this nicely done. So we'll pop that in 60 seconds. All right, while that's cooking it, are there any questions that have come up that we haven't answered, or Rhonda that you've answered on the back side there?
No questions today. They've been very quiet.
I love it. If anybody wants to pop up and tell us like what you're working on, if you have anybody in college and you're working on something, we'd love to share. So don't be shy. And I will, while that's cooking, I can show you. Okay, I will share. I'm going to share my Canva link in the notes section, in the chat section for the list of open wins. So I have a whole list that I went ahead and typed up for open wins. Ooh, this is smoky. I'm nervous. You guys nervous? I don't know why I'm nervous. Okay. Oh, okay. Note to self. Little note to self. So didn't think about this and I should have. When I overlapped the picture and the image here, you can see, let me slide this around. So when I did the overlap, I didn't think about this, but I overlapped the this little circle right over the picture, and I should have trimmed out the picture there because you can see a little bit how the picture came through on the side. I don't know if you guys can see that. I can see that. If I were not giving this to my child, I would redo that and cut out that part right there. But I think that is so cute. What doesn't give you happy thoughts about that little puppy? And then the last one, the last two pieces to put on, if you didn't want to do a picture on the front of your pillowcase, you could add a little saying on the side of the pillowcase that will encourage them on their college journey as they're headed out away from home. We're just going to put a little saying. I'll do one on each side. So no matter which side of the pillow they're laying on, they'll have a nice little saying to kind of go to sleep with. I'm sorry about that piece there. I didn't think about that. But that's okay, right? That's how we learn. You guys get to learn from my mistakes. All right, so we're just gonna throw that in. Again, my sublimation sandwich is going to town. I'll put on one side one design, and then I have another design on the other side. I can do anything. So we'll put both of those designs on there. Thank you, Karen. Karen says it still looks great. I think it looks great. I love the colors. They're super vibrant, and on the dorm bed, that would be so cute. So I'm very happy with that. I know my kid would love that.
Great little piece from home for sure.
I know. You should probably sleep on it before you send it off to them with them so it smells like you. A little home smell. And the thing I love about using the sublimation on projects like this is that the sublimation lasts for so long. Like this is going to go through washes. They'll have this when they have kids. You could always cut it and make it into a smaller pillowcase if you wanted to. There's just so much you can do with it, even afterwards. So this one is another little phrase that's just along the top edge here. And if you have younger kids that are headed off to sleepaway camp, these ideas you can also do for their sleepaway camp. And then if you wanted to, like, again, thinking of how you could fill in space and things like that. If you wanted to add more to the pillow, either add more photos on it, you can always come back and add, more photos, more little designs that you wanted, anything like that. And I know that this looks really childish. The font is kind of cute and childish, but I kind of wanted that because even though they're going off to school and they're going to be in their big, on campus, big man on campus and everything like that, kind of nice to remind them that you're home, you still love them, and it's just special. Okay, so we'll do this last one on the side here. I'll do this one in 400 for 60 seconds. And I'll do my sublimation sandwich. So I have my blowout on the bottom, my pillow, my sublimation sheet, my blowout on the top. And that's my sublimation sandwich. So I do want to, like, I was practicing with this earlier this week just to make sure that our dry erase came off. And I wanted to show you guys with that laminate how easy it is to just erase that right off. And that comes right off there. So you can confidently put this on their door. Again, if you wanted to put their favorite musicians on there so they had something to go to school and hang up. I know when my oldest son went to college, we still make fun of him about this. The only decor he took was a Frisbee. That's it. No posters, no pictures, no flags, nothing, just a Frisbee. And he put just a Frisbee on his door. So when my other ones went off to college, I was like, we're not doing just a Frisbee. We got to have a little bit more. So I encourage them to kind of bring out more of their personality. All right. And that's the last one here. It said, I can do anything. I believe in me with the dog. I think this is just so cute. I'm in love. This may not go to school. Maybe you want to make a pillowcase of your child and keep it at home and say, like, I believe I can get through the day without you, or something like that. Maybe you need a little encouragement for yourself. But I hope you guys have enjoyed these 4 projects. Love to see what you do. Please, if you post it on Instagram or anything, tag Sawgrass, and we want to see what you're creating and what you're doing with what you learn in our workshops. So thank you all very much. Rhonda, anything else?
Nope.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Kesley. Those are some great projects today.
thank you. I see that it said that you need access. I will change that right now. There you go. I just gave access to that page in Canva. So thanks for that. All right, well, I think that is everything. And if anybody had any last questions, give you 1 second to give us a shout out.
Yeah, that's a great idea that Karen just put in there too.
Oh, so Karen's saying another idea, you can make a welcome mat using a blank bath mat. Ooh, that's a cute idea. IKEA has a nice option that is 100% polyester. I like that. So yeah, you can, I mean, you can put, and you can even just take this design and carry it through a bunch of different things, stickers, anything like that. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all being here. Thanks, Rhonda.
Bye. Have a good one.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Bye-bye.
Bye.